Many places don't quite have recycling drives yet. Your school is one of the very few places that does. There's many places to recycle all around the world, all around your city. And here's some ideas on what you can do yourself. Here we go. You can start a drive. You can go to the recycling center, ask what it takes, interview the person. Then you'll be more knowledgeable about recycling. But the one thing that everybody has to do is recycle. There's many things you can recycle. Paper, cans, anything, just about. Even diapers. But if you don't recycle, it leads to problems like trash buildup in the dumps. And that can be quite a big problem, if you know what I mean. Have you ever smelled that place? P.U. But as I come rolling in here on my little ball and sit down and start talking to you about this, many things happen. All around the world, 50 tons in Montana alone are being recycled right now. Now, Montana Recycle Now is a great place to visit. I mean, you can know. If you ask them, they'll tell you. They'll tell you what happens in the recycling process. But let me tell you a little about it. With cans, they throw it into a big truck. Then they mash it down into nice, tight little balls. Actually, they're more stacks. But they ship those off to a company like, let's say, a pop company. They'll take those, make into a new strip of aluminum, and make new cans. With paper, they just mash it into new pulp. It's an amazing process, and it saves the environment, too. Saving the environment is a big part of our world today. It's our only Earth. Let's keep it. I mean, really, honestly, can you think of what we would do in maybe 1,000 years, maybe just 1,000 years, if people didn't recycle? And let's say trees started to get cut down, although I don't think they would be gone quite that fast. But if they did, what would happen? Where would we go? We obviously can't go anywhere else. Maybe, just maybe, we could go to the moon. But can we really? Can we live there? Without recycling, it can be a big, big problem. If you know what I mean. Do you? Of course you do, because you recycle at home, don't you? Well, almost everybody recycles at home. Actually, that's misleading. Only about 40% of America actually recycles. Of course, then, 10% of America, only 10% of America doesn't know what recycling is. Can you believe that 10% of America doesn't know what recycling is? It's a weird world, wouldn't you say? Oh well, life goes on. There's plenty of ways to recycle, plenty of ways even at your school to recycle. There's plenty of rooms for you to recycle in. You know those big, that say BFI bins or whatever they say, the recycling bins. If you've got one in your room, put all your paper there, clean out your desk, find all the unwanted paper. Then you can save a tree. Save the trees. Save the trees. Save the dolphins. Sorry, sugar high. How can I eat sugar? Oh well. You may have noticed that I don't have any eyes. The reason I don't have any eyes is because someone recycled me. That's right. I used to be a nice clay horse. Oh, I wish. Anyway, recycling can be very interesting if you just listen, if you just look around. Magazines, everywhere has them. Ranger Rick, they have about 4 issues a year just on what happens when you recycle. Well, recycling is one of the better things of this world. The first recycling started in about 1900. That's only 96 years ago. 96 years ago, the awesome art of recycling was created. I wouldn't really call it an art, but it's the way things go. Anyway, when I was a young Clay, the proud, powerful horse, I realized something. Recycling is great. You should do it. Got a pop can? Recycle it. Got a newspaper? bundle it up and recycle it. Recycling. There's many places in your school that you can recycle, like Mr. Wilson's room in the 6th grade wing, or Mr. Dunn's room in the 6th grade wing. Ask your teacher about it. Ask your... Recycling around the world. It's our only Earth, so let's keep it. Yeah.
I'm Joe Bell. And I'm Randy Schechter. Last Thursday morning around 5 o'clock, the Montana railing car derailed. In all, 18 cars went off the track, 4 of which were carrying chlorine. All but one tank of chlorine leaked out. The residents of Alberton were evacuated. The evacuated are getting $100 gift certificates to JCPenney's and are getting free meals.
One of the people who live in Alberton is still in Montana Railway with the distress they caused. The cleanup teams are waiting for the chlorine cloud to dissipate so they can clean up. Only one person died, but many people were injured and hospitalized.
Many people have heard of global warming and the greenhouse effect, but many do not know what it means or is about. Right here and now, we will go out and see what some people think about global warming. We will test the knowledge.
Whoa. Okay, go.
Hi, my name's Joe Bell, and I'm here with Don Michaels. Don, what is your knowledge of global warming?
Oh, just what I read in the scientific magazines and in the newspapers, and what I feel with my own nose.
So, what are some facts about it that you can share?
Well, the increase in carbon dioxide is pretty well documented, and the calculations about how the CO2 captures the sun's energy and has a greenhouse effect is pretty well demonstrated. So the idea that it's possible is very clear. I think there's no question about that. There's some doubt that the amount of warming that is predicted is due just to the carbon dioxide, and some people don't believe that it really is happening to the extent that other people do. So it's still kind of a controversy.
So, is carbon dioxide the only gas that causes it?
Not at all. Methane is another component that is not as abundant as carbon dioxide, but per molecule it's more potent.
Oh.
And then other things that affect it are things like the explosion of Mount Pinatubo a few years ago, which caused a decrease in the solar warming because of the reflection of the sun's rays at high elevation, because of the sulfuric acid droplets that were placed up there. But those fall out after a while, and so now we're back on track with the carbon dioxide model.
Global warming, if it increases at the rate that it has been, would harm the Earth's delicate ecosystem. If this ecosystem were to raise in temperature the amount that it would if it keeps increasing, it would kill the plants and many of the plants and animals on this Earth. Plants like this one could be completely killed. Cody, do you know anything about what global warming is?
No, goodbye. I got this way.
Dan, what is your knowledge of global warming?
Pretty much nothing.
Can you make an educated guess?
Well, I don't know, something that has to do with pollution.
Well, kind of. Now that we have heard some point of views, we will tell you what global warming and the greenhouse effect are. The greenhouse effect is the behavior of the Earth's atmosphere that causes heat from the sun to be trapped near the Earth's surface. Without the effect of the warming, the average temperature of the Earth will drop about 59 Fahrenheit degrees, 33 Celsius degrees lower than it is. The greenhouse effect received its name because the Earth's atmosphere acts like the glass walls of a greenhouse. Sunlight enters the greenhouse walls and roof and heats the plants. The roof and walls allow the heat to leave very slowly.
Heat that the crust releases is absorbed by gases in the air that grow and warm the air, therefore send infrared radiation back toward the Earth, adding to the heating of the surface. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is increasing because of the burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. Some scientists believe that from the late 1900s to the late 2000s, the amount of carbon dioxide will double. If this happens, an increase of 2.7 to 9 Fahrenheit degrees, 1.5 to 5 Celsius degrees in the Earth's average temperature.
This is the 6 o'clock KWN News, signing off.
I am here to represent the negative position of the global warming issue and to express the devastation that may be if we do not make a change.
I, on the other hand, will be representing the positive side of global warming and show the numerous benefits it shares with the Earth.
I do protest there is no such thing. Due to the warming on the heat,
But of course you realize the dramatic reduction in heating bills.
what of the cooling bills? They will go.
Those fools preferring a lower climate will go to the ever-cold poles.
If global warming should occur, the ice caps will melt and they will no longer be a cool place to go.
Well, the people will have more water to drink and swim in.
Especially California. Come on.
And the deserts will have water.
more like be underwater. You've got to be serious.
What are you talking about? Something without logic, no doubt.
If the ice caps melt, the oceans will rise.
Another point of mine. We'll have more fish.
Not quite. The shores will become ocean floors, and the people residing on the coast will now reside in the coast.
Underwater homes.
Yeah, and Davy Jones' locker. Be serious.
Lower census count. Wonderful. Kill one problem with a supposed other.
You don't understand this is a serious problem. If we don't do something fast, the earth could be devastated, not to mention...
Don't be so uptight. We'll have more water and less population. And just think how much easier it will be to get a tan with the extra heat. And there are so many benefits you're overlooking.
But you're overlooking the consequences. People won't stay in their homes. They'll crowd in. Less space everywhere. Tanning can cause skin cancer. Just because there is more water doesn't mean there will be more fish. And the animals that live in the desert won't have homes, but you'd be too busy catching rays to notice, wouldn't you?
That wasn't funny.
It wasn't supposed to be, and neither were your defenses. I was just illustrating a point.
Well, I guess I can see your point, but what's so bad about a few desert critters dying? Or slightly more crowded living space? A little extra heat's no big deal.
You're not looking at the big picture.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll try to explain. The temperature is very important to every living thing, right? In the ecosystem, if one item should get a little too much heat, and there could be super magnification as it moves through the chain, resulting in a huge downfall in the ecological structure.
I don't think I understand. Can you put that a little simpler?
Well, let me explain. See right here. What do you suppose the average temperature of the human body is?
I thought everybody knew. It's 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
I know, trust me. How hot is it on the average in Florida during the summer?
Probably about 100 degrees.
So you realize that if the Earth's surface temperature rises much more than around 15 degrees, everything on the Earth could die in a matter of years.
I see, I guess. Maybe we should tell people then, shouldn't we?
I guess so.
Let's get going then. I guess I have a lot of opinions to change.
Yeah, you do. Welcome to the 6 o'clock news. I'm Casey O'Haron.
And I'm Kelly Voss.
Welcome. Today's topic is beneficial bugs. Pesticides are a chemical used to control and eliminate pests. They are classified according to the pests they control. Bugs are one of these many pests. Bugs carry diseases such as malaria and typhus, but pesticides kill. These diseases can cause death or illness to humans. Bugs can cause great harm or damage to crops, but they can also be very beneficial. Pesticides differ according to their effects on organisms. There are 4 main pesticides that are most commonly used. Herbicides, which control weeds or eliminate plants. Fungicides, which control and get rid of plant diseases. And rodenticides, which are used in urban areas to kill rats and other rodents that are a health problem. Selective pesticides are toxic only to the target pest and little to no harm on other organisms. But non-selective pesticides can harm and kill other organisms that are not considered pests. These pesticides is used when no other method of control is available.
Pesticides usually kill more organisms than figured because the organisms that eat the pesticides are then eaten by another organism, which is then poisoned also. Even though pesticides are a good way to keep the pests away, pesticides are also very dangerous to the human world. These chemicals can get into the eye tissues with deadly speed. These toxic molecules move through the eye and into the optic nerve, which is essentially directed into the brain. It can change. These chemicals can alter the sense of smell, taste, and balance, as well as memory, thought, and emotions. The most basic level of life, crucial bonds of DNA are also known to be broken by toxic man-made chemicals. Also, the immune system is able to fight off the bacteria and viruses, but with these chemicals that the man has made, the chemicals overwhelm the immune system. A good way to keep pesticides away from you and your family is by using beneficial bugs. There are 3 bugs that I will mention that will enrich and kill many of the pests that bother your gardens. Ladybugs are not only pretty to have around, but they also eat the crop-eating insects. Wasps, though they are a pain to us, actually lay eggs on tomato plants, killing the harmful crop-eating caterpillars. They also carry pollen in their bodies to pollinate flowers and plants. Worms enrich our soil with stool and eating their bodies. Now out of 1 million species of insects, less than 1% of them are bad. Some bugs keep this environment clean by eating other dead insects and stool. Now that we have told you all the bad side effects of pesticides, will you still want to use pesticides in your garden instead of priceless bugs?
Do you think that science should be optional?
You know, some people want it to be optional, but we want to get everybody involved, so that's why we don't make it optional. If we made it optional, probably most kids wouldn't do it because it's pretty hard to do.
Do you think it was a good experiment for kids?
For most kids, it is a good experience. For a lot of kids, it's pretty hard. That's one of the challenges of it. But I think over half the kids liked it.
Do you think it was better this year or last year?
It was a lot better this year because all the 7th graders had Mr. Andrews, and we all had a common ground, and it went a lot better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
break was longer?
Yeah, I wish it was longer so we could do more stuff, so we have too much school.
I spent the day at Pasha's and had a party.
Do you wish spring break was longer?
Yeah, not longer.
Spring break.
Me and my friend Josh Eater played the Grizzlies in a basketball game.
Do you wish spring break was longer?
Yes, because I had a lot of fun.